In September of 2024, BSG and Twitch partnered together to give out streamer cases in the game Escape from Tarkov. These cases are designed to hold the very specific streamer items that Escape from Tarkov has. And that's it, only streamer items, nothing else. This comes in important for people pushing for Kappa because they do take up a lot of space. And with the new locking feature, you can actually lock them and not use them up in crafts or tasks or other items like that. This case is claimable via the website at the start of each wipe and can be used from day one. Now, these cases were awarded after a player subscribed on Twitch to streamers that were playing the game. Now, we don't know if this is a one-time deal, but fortunately, BSG also added a way to get these cases without paying for them. And that's what this video is about. I'll walk you through each step so that you can claim your streamer case each wipe. Or if you already have one, you can get a second one to do with as you please. Maybe that's selling it, or maybe even put it in the cultist circle to see what you get. I'll break this guide down into each map. Each location is a reference to something in pop culture, and we're going to do a whole video exploring all of those different situations and then explaining what they mean. So make sure to go look for that after watching this, because there's some really cool but also some really crazy references throughout this entire task. So more about the task. Is this a reference opens up to you from fence at level 25, and you also need to have at least 1.0 scav karma. It requires you to place 27 cameras around 8 different maps. Fortunately, the only key you need for this whole thing is the factory key, which is one everyone should have anyways. They also tend to be pretty close to one another on each map, with a few exceptions, so you can get most of them done in a single raid without having to travel all over any given map. So let's get started with streets and the 4 cameras that you have to place on that map. Okay, so the first one on streets is going to be in the sewer area. So this is the sewer river extract right next to it. On the far east side of the map, all the way over kind of by where Kollontai spawns and just up above the relax room, where the train that fell into a hole where the sewer is. Once you go down in this spot, really simply, right off to your left, you'll see kind of a branch on the sewer with some neon green writing on the wall and some skateboards and pizza. This one, it says install a Wi-Fi camera at the amphibian pizza lovers hideout on streets of Tarkov. Now, the next 3 are all close to each other, but the first one we'll talk about is in actually the dentist's office. This is the medical building next to the large school on the west side of the map. From here, you'll go into the building, you'll go up the stairs, whether it depends on which side you come in, but you want to go up to the second floor. You're going to make your first left, and then immediately to your right, there's a door. Inside that door is a hospital bed, and this is going to be where you place your camera. Now, the 3rd and 4th Wi-Fi camera placements on streets are both in Check 13. This is where the marked room is, the Check 13 marked room, if you're wondering. Now, once you go inside the building, the first one is going to be after you go all the way through, loop your way around to the left, climb through the hole in the wall, down the stairs, and then make your first right. At the end of that hallway is a bathroom. Go in there, and on the left wall next to the toilet, you'll see a hole smashed in the wall where a cultist circle kind of is on the wall. That is going to be where you place your camera. The other one is going to be actually past the marked room. You're going to go up to the marked room, go past it, open the door, go through the creepy mannequins, go around to the right, and keep going all the way back till you get to a caged room that has a guy completely wrapped up in a garbage bag, duct tape, and barbed wire. And that is your 4 locations on streets. Next up, we're going to go to ground 0. At ground 0, you're going to need 3 cameras. And these are unfortunately spread out a little bit more, but the map's really small. The first one's going to be at the south end of the map at the Nakatani Tower. This is the same place where the basement stairs, the Nakatani basement stairs extract is, but instead of going to the extract, you walk in the front door, go up to the desk, and that's going to be where you plant the camera at. Now, the next one doesn't really have a building name towards it. It's the same place that the restaurant is. Basically, it's on the southern end of the map, but it's not the building where the AGS is. It's across the big street from there. You go into the back and there's a bunch of offices with computers. One of the computers in there has a joke for programmers on it. It's going to be kind of in the middle of the room. It's going to be a monitor. It's lit up. This is going to be your second location. The 3rd and final one is going to be same place that you have to go to look at the mounted machine gun. This is above Tarbank. So you go into the Tarbank building, you go all the way upstairs, but instead of going back to the left once you come out of the door upstairs, instead of going all the way back to the left, you just go straight across to the conference room. And there's a room in here with 5 big black chairs and 1 little white chair. This was a joke we noticed right away, but I guess now it's going to be forever remembered in this task. Okay, moving on past that, we have Lighthouse. Now there's going to be 4 on here. 3 of them are within like 100 yards of each other, and the 4th one's a little bit further away, but you can get all 4 of them done in a single raid if you're lucky. The first one we're going to talk about is the toilet. This is going to be the Mega Genius Scientist seat on Lighthouse. So this is kind of in the middle of the map on the beach side. I'm sure most of you have noticed it. There's a toilet just kind of hanging out overlooking the beach from a cliff. That's going to be your first one. The second one is going to be Wilson on Lighthouse. Now, if you don't know, this is a Tom Hanks movie. Wilson was a volleyball with a bloody handprint on it. This is right on the beach next to the boathouses. Pretty easy to see. It's just a volleyball sitting right on a tree with a bloody hand on it. Now, next up is just right up above it, 20, 30 feet, 10 yards, 10 meters, whatever, wherever you're from. Right up the hill, there's a camp spot. That's going to be your next one. This is going to be the Kindled Rest Place. And then the fourth and final one is on a roadside sign that is just about 100 meters away from where you're at. It is right at the intersection where the bridge is that leads to the water treatment plant. On the beach side of that, which is the west side, there's a sign that says Quiet Coast on there. It has some Russian spray painted on there. That is going to be your fourth and final one on Lighthouse. Now, the next map is going to be Reserve, and this has 3 of them. The 2 of them are close to each other. One of them is kind of off on its own, and they're kind of in dangerous parts of the map, so keep that in mind. You might not be able to get all of these done and stay alive in a single raid. The first one is going to be behind the tower that we call Harry Potter. This is over by the train yard, over by the fuel pit and the castle building, whatever you want to call it. It's where you can actually go downstairs underground underneath the K buildings. On the back side of this, there are 2 benches, stools, whatever you want to call them. One with a beard, one with writing. This is going to be where you place your first camera. Second camera location is at the White Bishop, or the medical building. It's going to be on the wall that is on the south side that's between that and Queen, or the tech building, whatever you want to call it. And more specifically on the southeast corner, there's going to be a place where a tank round hit the wall, and right below it there's a little emblem, little digital looking emblem that you put your camera on. Now, the third and final one is out over by the helicopter. It's going to be just north of White Pond, on the northwest corner in the bushes. You'll look on the ground and there's some green paint where it looks like people were painting the ground green as well as maybe painting the bushes green. Not sure what that is, but this is going to be your third and final camera for Reserve. Okay, so next up we'll go on to customs. Again, 3 cameras you need here. And again, in this spot, 2 of them are right next to each other in the same building, and then the third one is over in dorms, actually. But let's go over to the first building. This is going to be in what we call Green Room, or where the USEC building is, the USEC storage. Most people should know this because it's a pretty good loot place. First one is going to be upstairs on the south side of the building, 2nd floor. There's a bathroom in here. Most of you know it. There's a mannequin. You can find gold watches and loot behind him, but the mannequin has a toilet on his head. So this is going to be the Buckethead villain on customs. Second one is going to be on the other side, on the north side of the building. You have to go back down the stairs and go back up, but it's going to be where we call the green room, streamer room. People have all sorts of names for it. This is going to be the T-Rex one. Basically, you're going to go to the T-Rex on the ground, and you're going to place your camera. Now, the last one's in dorms, and it's on 2nd floor on the far south end of the building, which is going to be where the car extract is. So you have 214, that is the locked room. Right next to that is a room with a computer in it. That computer, if you go look at the monitor, has some stuff with Unity on it, and the joke is indie developer's worst nightmare. That is going to be your third and final one for customs. All right, so next up, you're gonna have Factory. Now, Factory is got the most on there, which is crazy because it's the smallest map, but there are 7 locations on Factory for cameras. You can try to do these all in one raid if you want, but it's kind of risky. A lot of these places are in high traffic areas, open, exposed, but you do what you want to do. I'm gonna do my best to try to group these together so that we're not hopping all over the map, but it kind of is what it is. The first one is going to be down by Gate 0. If you're looking at a Gate 0 on your left, there is another little room. It's got wood floor, some lockers and stuff. But right on the wall, right as you walk through the door on the left, there's a power box that has the little girl that's on the chocolate bar. Her face is on there, but her eye is right where a red light is. That is going to be your first one. The second one is in the office on the very first floor, not the basement, the first floor. This is kind of a new area. There's a safe in here, but if you look against the wall, there is a filing cabinet with a bunch of books down on the ground. And then there's 451 spray painted on the filing cabinets. This is going to be your second camera location. Now, the next one is going to be in the same area. It's in the offices, but it's up on the 3rd floor. And this is the one you actually need the factory key for. Very last room On the far end, away from the normal office, there's a locked room. You open that up. Inside, there's a thing that says Tarkov in Russian on the wall with a bunch of red strings and stuff. This is going to be your third camera. Now, the fourth camera is going to be in gate 3. When you first walk into gate 3, you're going to walk to the other side of the big dumpster and look up, and there's going to be a ladder pointing up to green background, white lettering painted on the ceiling. This is your fourth location. Now, the fifth location is going to be pretty much dead center in the middle of the map, but this time down in the basement area. So, you know, the big 3, or actually it's 6 big tanks that are kind of in the middle of the map. You're going to go down in the basement area where these are before in the tunnels that lead to the other side of the map. Right next to that, you're going to see these 2 valves, orange and blue. And this is going to be, and there's a crowbar and a helmet and some spray cans and stuff. And this is going to be your next location. Now, next one, a Harry Potter reference, which is kind of funny. Can't go anywhere without Harry Potter references. You have the 9 3/4 pillar. It's this pillar that's open out in the open area. It's over by where the old locked pumping room was in the older factory area. It's on the north end of the map. It's just a pillar out in the open, kind of over by where the forklifts are. And then the 7th and final location on factory is in the kind of new medical area that's kind of in the middle where there's a bunch of offices and stairs. On the 2nd floor, or the middle floor, if you will, all the way in the back, there's going to be a room that has Minesweeper painted on the wall. This is in the medical area. You go back here for some other tasks, but just look for this on the wall, and this will be where you plant your final camera for factory. Now, the next map is woods, and there's only one on this map, and it's in kind of a crisscrossed area. There's a lot of spawns that cross through here, so you do want to be kind of careful. But fortunately, there's some spawns right next to it, so you can get it done right away. The easiest way to describe this is there's a burned out car underneath the power lines. It's in the kind of north central part of the map. But again, the easiest way to find this is just find the power lines and follow those towards kind of the middle of the map, if you will. You're eventually going to stumble across this car, and there's a bear inside of it, and this is going to be where you place your camera. And then now we're at our final map. This is Shoreline. There's 2 locations here, and they're not close to each other. First one is in the village. It's going to be, it depends on how you want to look at it, but on the east half of the village, on the east side of the road, the very far west house, if you will, on the north side of the road, we'll just show you a picture on the map which house it is. This house here has a room in it that needs to have a breached door. You kick that door open and it's pretty much all boarded up, and there's a chair on the ceiling. This has been around here for a long time, but this is going to be the room where you need to place your camera. Final location on Shoreline, and of all of your cameras to be done, is the pier or docks at Shoreline. You're going to go down there and you're going to go into the main office building, and back as you walk in the front door, go to your right and then make a left in the hallway, and you walk into a bathroom, and there's 2 toilets facing each other. This is going to be your last and final place to place a camera. And that's it. That's all 27 of your cameras. It is kind of pricey because these cameras can cost a lot for the barter or euros if you have them unlocked from mechanic, and if you don't, they're going to be expensive on the flea. So make sure you've got the budget to do it. You can do a couple of them here and there just as you're running around the map. You don't have to set out to do this. Throw 1 camera in your secure slots, you know, on your character where you can put special items, and then you don't have to worry about losing them if you die. And when you get a chance, if you come across one of these locations, you can place it. Now, once completed, you get your streamer case. You can throw all your streamer items in there. It's kind of like a little junk box. It's helpful. It helps you save space, especially if you're working towards Kappa. I ended up getting 2 of them, and just for shits and giggles, we put one of them into the cultist circle. Now, I don't recommend this. You can do it if you want, but it doesn't seem to have a lot of value to do that, so we didn't really get anything out of it. A couple of junky items, and that was it. Now, again, keep in mind, we have another video coming out. We're going to explain all the pop culture references in here. Some of them you're going to recognize. I have to imagine Ninja Turtles was pretty relevant to a lot of you guys, as well as the Fahrenheit 451, stuff like that. But there's some of them that I didn't even know about, and they're fun to explore, and we're going to do that in another video that's more entertainment-based versus guide-based. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure you're subscribed and you like the video, because that tells YouTube you want to see it. So when the next one pops up, you'll see it right away. But that's all we got. We'll wrap her up there. As always, thank you guys for watching. I wish you the best of luck in your raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.